Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna continue reading the rest of Where's the Taj Mahal. Okay. Circled by a high red stone wall and a moat, it had 27 towers and 11 great gates. Inside were grand avenues, markets, shops, courtiers' homes, government buildings, and pavilions decorated with gold and jewels. The emperor and his family lived in a private palace within the fort. A French visitor described it. Nearly every chamber has its reservoir of running water. At the door on every side are gardens, delightful alleys, shady retreats, streams, fountains, grottos, deep excavations that afford shelter from the sun by day, and terraces on which to sleep coolly at night. Within the walls of this enchanting place, no oppressive or inconvenient heat is felt. And that was the first part of chapter 9, Imprisoned. In 1648, to the beating of kettle drums, Shah Jahan arrived at the fort by boat and mounted his peacock throne. He was at the height of his power. He had not forgotten Mumtaz. Taxes on nearby villages were spent to complete the work on the Taj Mahal and keep it in good condition. But the Taj Mahal, the fort, and other building projects had drained the royal treasury. Unsuccessful wars added to the strains on the empire. After Shah Jahan fell ill in 1657, his 4 sons fought for him. The winner was Aurangzeb, who defeated and executed all of his brothers. He declared himself emperor. When Shah Jahan recovered from his illness, he tried to take back the throne. But Aurangzeb would not give up power. He said Shah Jahan was not fit to rule and imprisoned him in the Red Fort in Agra. Shah Jahan lived there for 8 years until his death in 1666. From the fort he could gaze upon the monument he had built for his wife. Shah Jahan died reciting verses from the Quran. During his last days, servants placed a mirror so he could see the Taj Mahal from his bed. Aurangzeb had him buried in the Taj Mahal. Next to his beloved Mumtaz, Shah Jahan's coffin and sarcophagus are the only parts of the structure that are not symmetrical with the rest. Tourists today. Today at the Taj Mahal, visitors climb steps to the plinth and then enter the main doorway inside. Natural light pours in through windows high above. A large lamppost also hangs from the dome. It was added later. The inside of the dome is smaller than the dome outside. It was made this way to create more pleasing proportions for the interior. Most of the interior is a sanctuary, a sacred place, surrounded by a white marble screen, 6 feet tall. The screen is carved in such detail that it looks like lace. Inside the sanctuary are 2 cenotaphs. A cenotaph is a box that looks like a coffin, but does not contain a body. However, they only represent the resting place for Mumtaz and Shah Jahan. A flight of stairs leads to a dark chamber that holds the coffins with their bodies. No one is allowed to go there. Inscribed on the wall of tomb is Shah Jahan's sorrowful prayer. Help us, O Lord, to bear that which we cannot bear. What he could not bear was the loss of his beloved Mumtaz. Chapter 10. Decline. Over time, the Taj Mahal has suffered from decay, vandalism, and neglect. For a monument where water is so important, leakage has been a terrible problem. Even while Shah Jahan was still alive, his son sent reports to him in jail on what was being done to repair leaks. Foreign invaders swept into the power of the Mongols. In 1739, Nadir Shah of Persia invaded India and took the peacock throne back home. 8 years later, he was murdered and his assassins broke up the throne. Europeans began to establish powerful colonies in India. In 1608, the company in Great Britain first sent trading missions to India. By 1757, the company, the British East India Company, had become the actual ruler of much of India, which had no central government. The British had no respect for the historical monuments that the Indian people had built. Even the Taj Mahal was not valued for its beauty. A proposal was made to take apart the building and ship the marble to England. Fortunately, the plan proved too costly and was never carried out. Local people didn't treat the Taj Mahal with respect either. In 1754, looters broke into the tombs under the sanctuary and stripped them of all their gold and jewels. People used the Taj Mahal for dances and picnics. Many of the precious stones in the marble walls were chipped out and stolen. In 1857, a rebellion called the Sepoy Mutiny broke out against the British East India Company. By this time, the company had its own army. British soldiers harshly put down the rebels, and the last of the Mughal rulers was exiled. The company destroyed much of the inside of the Red Fort in Delhi and used it as an army barracks. However, the days of the company's power were coming to an end. The British government took over the company and what it owned. Queen Victoria of England took the title Empress of India. In 1912, Delhi, formerly Shah Jahan became the capital of British-ruled India. During this time, the British tried to show they were good rulers by restoring some of India's monuments. The Taj was one. The British, however, were fond of lawns. They planted grass in the gardens where flowers and fruit trees once grew. This was not the paradise that Shah Jahan had envisioned. Chapter 11. The Pride of Modern. In 1947, India became independent. British rule was over. There was a ceremony at Shah Jahan's Red Fort at Delhi. It was a time of great hope and pride for the people of India. The country is going to be a democracy with leaders that the people elected. The magnificent Taj Mahal was a symbol of the new country's pride. A prize-winning Indian poet had written of the Taj Mahal, the new emperor of India, Shah Jahan, that life, youth, wealth, renown all float away down the stream of time. Yet still one solitary tear would hang on the cheek of time. in the form of this white and gleaming Taj Mahal. The new Indian government continued efforts started by the British to care for famous landmarks. But the nation had many needs that had to come from restoring all the buildings. So many of India's people were poor and hungry. Better ways of farming had to be developed. Farming had to be developed. Factories also needed to be built. However, it soon became clear that the Taj Mahal was a great tourist attraction. Visitors from all over the world came to see it. They spent money that helped the economy of India. That convinced the government to set up efforts to restore the Taj Mahal. Its goal was to make the building look the way it had originally. Historians searched for documents about the construction of the building and its gardens. Scientists tried to determine exactly what kinds of plants had been in the gardens. In 1983, an agency of the United Nations put the Taj Mahal and the Red Fort of Agra on its list of World Heritage Sites. This helped get more money to restore the Taj Mahal. World Heritage Sites. United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization has created a list of World Heritage Sites. There are more than 1,000 places that are particularly important in world culture. Some, like the Taj Mahal, were made by humans. Others, such as the Grand Canyon, are natural formations. There are 23 World Heritage Sites in the United States. They range from the Hawaii Volcanoes National Park to the Statue of Liberty. Canada has 17 sites and India has 32. Besides the Taj Mahal, those related to events in this book are the Red Fort in Agra and the Red Fort in Delhi.